Welcome to Human Heart Stories. My name is Julie, and today I'll be telling you a story called I Picked Beauty Over Brains. Thank you to this man for sharing your story. Please listen with me, help like this video, and subscribe to this channel for more stories. And so he said, I had dropped out of college, and at 25 years old, I found work fixing houses. One day, I started doing work on an elder woman's house, and she started talking to me. She asked if I was still single, and I said yes. She then wanted to play matchmaker and said she had a single niece I should talk to. She showed me her niece's photo and then gave me her phone number. I thought she was cute, so I gave her a call. We started chatting and connected well on the phone. A month later, we finally met. I liked her, but deep down inside, she was missing something for me. I was not completely attracted to her physically. She was short, very petite. I saw that her parents and siblings were all about her size too, and I wanted someone taller and slender so that we would have tall and slender kids. That was my thinking. I liked her face and smile and personality, but just couldn't get past her smaller body frame. But I had no one else at the time, and she was good to me, so we started dating more seriously. A year went by, and during that time, I tried to let her go 3 times, but I just couldn't. I would start to get lonely, miss her, and then patch things up once again with her. We talked about marriage, and she was ready to get married, but I wasn't. She asked, "What is it about me that you do not like?" I said, "There is nothing that I don't like. It's just that I want to work a bit longer still and save more money before we get married." I couldn't tell her the real truth. She said, "Okay, as long as you love me, I can wait for you." So then, we continued dating for another 2 years. By this time, I thought to myself, well, I don't think I can let her go anyways, so let me support my girlfriend's education. I then invested in my girlfriend's training to become a seamstress. Shortly afterwards, she graduated from their program and opened a sewing shop. I gave her the money to open the shop. She worked hard, and however much she made, she was open about sharing the information with me. Her business grew, and soon my girlfriend was buying me new clothes and whatever else she thought I would like. We then opened a bank account together and started sharing money. However much money she made, she deposited all into that account. And however much money I made from my job, I deposited all of it into there as well. After 2 more years, we had saved a nice amount of money together. By this time, my parents and her aunt and parents wanted us to get married. Our family saw that we were doing well already and had a bright future together. And being that we were sharing money, they felt there was not a reason for us to wait. We were also traveling for days together like a married couple, and some nights she worked so hard at the shop that I would spend the night at the shop to keep her company. My parents said to me, "Son, you want to marry a hard-working woman like this. Beauty will not last, so you need to look for character. A kind-hearted woman like her, who works hard and can love you for a lifetime. I received a lot of encouragement from my families, but it still wasn't enough for me to marry her. A piece of me wanted a taller and more slender woman still. I thought to myself, no matter how much money I had and how beautiful our home was, if I didn't have a wife whom I was strongly attracted to, someone to come home to like that, then all of those things didn't matter. Coming home to a wife I wanted to hug and hold was more important. So if I don't find anyone else, then I'll settle for her. But if someone better comes along, I'll leave her then. Soon my girlfriend said to me, Dear, we've been dating for many years now, and each year you have said that we would get married that year. Are you really going to marry me? I said, I am, but she said, But what? Why is there always a but? What is it? I didn't know how to respond, so I said, But I just want to work and save a little bit longer. Then one day, while my buddies and I were fixing a house outdoors, we saw a couple young women walking by. There was one who especially stood out to me. She was tall and beautiful, just gorgeous. I said to my buddies, Hey, let's go talk to those girls. One said to me, Don't you have a good girlfriend already? I was embarrassed and didn't respond. And then another buddy said, Yes, let's go talk to them. So then the two of us caught up with the women. I started chatting with the one I first had my eye on. She was tall and full figured, just like a woman I wanted in my dreams. I got her phone number, and for the next 2 months, I called her every day after work. I would lie to my girlfriend and told her I was going out with my work buddies. But then, I would use that time to chat on the phone with this new girl. My girlfriend didn't question me much and trusted me. There would be times where she would even ask, My dear, do you need any money for going out? And it didn't matter how much or how little I spent, she didn't question what I spent it on. But as I got to know this new girl, she was a heavy spender. But then I also acted like I was a big shot, and so I bought her everything she wanted. I bought her clothes, makeup, and jewelry. I also took her to expensive restaurants only and would end up spending an average of $100 per meal. It was then that my girlfriend finally asked, Dear, you've been spending much more money than usual. It's okay if you do, but are your friends helping you pay at all? It seems you're taking care of all the tabs and you shouldn't do that. You should let them help you pay too. So I said, When my friends have money, they pay for me too. But now some are struggling a bit, and since I'm doing better than them, I'm just paying a little bit more. She didn't question much more and accepted what I said. One night, while I was laying next to my girlfriend, I got a phone call from an unknown number. I picked it up, and it was the new girl I had been seeing. She said, Hello, my love. Can you pick me up early tomorrow morning? I want to stop by the store and buy a new lipstick. I don't have any money right now. Could you buy it for me? I responded quickly and hung up. If I knew it was her, I wouldn't have picked up. But she had called from a new strange number. And my girlfriend heard it all, and she said, Oh, so that's who you've been spending all your money on. I didn't think that you could do that to me. It's no wonder you've been spending so much money lately. If you were gonna do that, why didn't you at least tell me?" She was upset, but being very patient with me. I denied it and said, "I think that girl called me by accident. She got the wrong number. It wasn't for me." She didn't believe me and was heartbroken. Soon, my girlfriend became depressed, and it slowed down her business. Her mind just wasn't there, and she didn't care to work hard like usual. Some days, she didn't even open the shop. She began making less money, but I was still spending ridiculous money on my new girl. My girlfriend started investigating me more. One night, she asked where I was going. I told her I would be hanging out with some buddies. She smiled and said, "Okay then, dear, I'll be going to bed early." That evening, I took my new girl shopping. All she ever wants to do is hit the mall. She would point to random items, big or small. She wanted them all. There's never a time we leave empty handed. That night, when I returned to my girlfriend's shop, I knocked for a while until she finally opened. She looked upset and hurt and didn't even greet me. I looked at her and said, "What's wrong? Why do you look upset like you've been crying?" She then admitted that she had followed me and saw me shopping with a girl, saw me buying the girl everything. She was going to confront me then and there, but contained herself. I had been caught. There was no denying it now. So I just tried talking to her all night. She said, "I know the truth now. You've been spending all of our money on another girl. Do you know how hard it is to earn our money? But you spend it on her like it's nothing. We don't even buy ourselves that many new things. All this time, I was working hard and saving money for our future together so that we can have a good life like everyone else." She would talk and cry. I was out of words to comfort her because she was right. When she said, "You don't love me like you say you do. You have no plans to marry me." All I could say was, "I do want to marry you." She cut me off. "But you always say but. There is always a but. It seems I am really not the woman you want." Then she broke up with me. She told me she wanted me to have the freedom to date whomever I pleased. And she didn't want me blocking her way either from meeting new people. I tried persuading her for us to work it out, but she said she had seen enough, that I had lied to her year after year, and she couldn't do this anymore. The next morning, I wasn't sure if my girlfriend was still serious about us breaking up, but she was. To be honest, I didn't try hard enough to stop her from leaving either. So then we split our money from the bank, and she thanked me for supporting her. She always spoke kindly and respectful, no matter how hurt or angry she was at me. As we said our goodbyes, she said she regretted not being the woman of my dreams. But since she's not, then she will be moving on. In the beginning, I did miss her. She still missed me a lot too. We talked a few more times on the phone, and as much as I missed her, I knew I couldn't marry her, so I had to let her go. Another part of me felt somewhat free and relieved. I was relieved I could finally start dating the woman of my dreams. I no longer have to hide it from anyone. My new girl never knew about my girlfriend because I hid it well. I was more afraid of her leaving me than my girlfriend. I then decided to test my new girl's ambitions and said to her, "Since you love fashion and shopping so much, what do you think about becoming a seamstress? I could pay for your training." She said, "Ugh, that sounds like a headache. I don't think I could do it. I won't like it." So then I said, "What about if we got married? What are you going to do to help contribute financially?" She said, "If we get married, then I'll just depend on you. I don't have any skills to do anything." I was a bit disappointed by her responses, but still I liked her too much. I thought to myself, "Geez, why is it that the tall and beautiful one I love has no brains?" And then I pushed away the one who had loved me the most, the ambitious one. But then I also felt that I should be with the one whom I was more physically attracted to. That would make for a more satisfying life. I finally stopped contacting my ex girlfriend. My family was very upset with me. They knew my new girl was very high maintenance but lacked ambitions. All I knew was that I was attracted to her, and this was the kind of woman I wanted to introduce to people. When my ex girlfriend's aunt found out we had broken up, she set her niece up with a new man. This new man didn't wait long at all. And just 7 months after our breakup, they got married. I was sad, 'cause I knew he had found himself a good woman. I also thought she would have a harder time getting over me, so it brought me pain knowing she had moved on that quick. And then I stressed about my new girl daily. She was a high spender but didn't have motivations to find a job or start a business. She was also short tempered, so we would fight here and there about nonsense stuff. But as I had started questioning my decision and regretted losing my girlfriend, she had moved on. So I figured I should settle down too and marry my new girlfriend. She was the cause of the breakup, and she did fulfill my dream woman physically, after all. Shortly after I married my new girl, she started complaining about my work hours. She said, "You work too much. I want you home more often by my side. I get lonely being home all day by myself." I told her, "Honey, if I didn't work, there would be no money to spend." During her days at home, she wasn't very productive and hated doing chores too. She would spend more time at her parents' house than at home. And times when I woke her up too early in the morning for her, she would even lash out at me irritated and punch me on the side. I couldn't believe I let my last girl go. It's true, coming home to a beautiful woman is very heartwarming, but it only lasts for a quick moment. When you don't have money and a woman to help support you and grow your finances, your life feels like it's going nowhere. Soon, I grew sick and tired of her attitude. I compared my life to my ex girlfriend's now and knew I had made the biggest mistake of my life. I was envious she had a successful and ambitious husband. They had a nice new house together and drove nice cars. I thought to myself, that would have been my life if I had married her. My wife continued to spend my hard earned money every day, buying useless things. She bought tons of shoes, and some just sat around like a trophy. And yet, she would even complain about how little I earned, stating, "Why do you make so little? How will our lives get anywhere like this?" Then she would even complain about me and my family to her parents. I started missing my ex girlfriend so much. Her kind, gentle words. When I said to my wife, "Honey, could you be more mindful of what you buy? Could you practice saving more money?" She would say, "You expect me to not spend any money at all? How does anyone live like that? Only you. My parents never wanted me to feel deprived of anything, so they always gave me everything I wanted. They didn't complain. If using just a little bit of your money is such a problem, then why don't you just divorce me?" Whatever I said to her, it rubbed her wrong. Our arguments grew worse. My stress grew. My wife had nothing nice to say to me anymore. She even said, "Oh my goodness, I thought I was marrying a rich man. But look at you. You're so poor and always complaining about money. Our house is so ugly too. It looks like a toilet." I thought about how my ex girlfriend had said to me, "Let's work hard so we can buy a new, bigger home together." She was encouraging and had never said things to put me down. She never said anything to bruise my male ego. When I confessed to my parents about my stress, they only gave me an earful. "We told you so. Well, you got the beautiful woman of your dreams, so you should not be complaining." Finally, I couldn't take it anymore, and we divorced. I was ashamed and disappointed, but I knew I had to get her out of my life. I wish I could redo my life. This story ends here. Thank you for listening to Human Heart Stories. Please help like this video and subscribe to this channel for more stories.